This is the Instant Pot Pro 8QT, the 10-in-1 pressure cooker that has taken over a lot of my weekday cooking. The first thing that hit me was the size and the way it looks. The matte black stainless steel doesn't scream for attention, but it feels modern and tough, and it doesn't show fingerprints every time I touch it. The display is a bright, easy-to-read LCD with clean white text. I can see the timer, the pressure, and the progress bar without squinting. The inner pot has silicone-covered handles that actually stay cool, which sounds like a small thing until you're moving a full pot of soup, and you don't want to fumble with oven mitts. There's also a steam diffusing cover on the vent that softens that sharp rush of steam. It's still a pressure cooker, so there's some noise, but it isn't startling. Key features that matter to me are the capacity, the safety tweaks, and the control panel that's more flexible than the older models I used. In my opinion, the 8-quart size is the difference between making dinner and making dinner plus leftovers without trying. I came from a 6-quart, and I felt that upgrade immediately. I can load it with a whole chicken and vegetables, or do a big batch of chili for several lunches. The box included the main cooker, the stainless steel inner pot, a trivet, and a second sealing ring. The clear ring is already on the lid, and the red one is the spare. That extra ring is handy if you cook both sweet and savory foods and want to avoid flavor carryover. I'll be honest, I had a small moment of panic when I first set it up because the steam valve on top pops off for cleaning and then clicks back in. I almost set it aside thinking it was packaging. The manual saved me from losing a key part, and I actually recommend flipping through those pages even if you've owned an Instant Pot before. The Pro's lid locks and unlocks more smoothly than my older cooker. You don't have to line up arrows perfectly, and the sealing/venting switch is placed farther from the steam path, which makes me less nervous about my fingers when I release pressure. There's also a built-in spot on the side to rest the lid while you're stirring or serving, which keeps the counter less messy. From my experience, the learning curve is real but short. The control panel is brighter and has more options, including 28 smart programs and 5 customizable favorites. If you're new to this, a program is just a preset combination of heat, pressure level, and time designed for a certain type of food like rice, beans, soup, or yogurt. You can still run it in manual pressure cook mode. Then pick low, medium, or high pressure, set your minutes, and go. Pressure cooking works by locking the lid, building up steam inside, and raising the boiling point so food cooks faster. It needs a few minutes to pressurize before the timer starts. The progress bar on the screen shows when it's preheating, cooking, and keeping warm, which is a nice sanity check when you're waiting for dinner. Capacity changes how and what you cook. I've done a 5-pound pot roast with potatoes and carrots without it feeling cramped. Rice for a crowd comes out consistent. I batch cook steel-cut oats for the week and portion them out. The stainless steel pot is thick and feels premium, and there's an aluminum layer in the base that spreads heat when you saute. That helps reduce hot spots. Saute mode is strong enough to brown ground beef and chicken thighs well enough for a weeknight. If I'm chasing a deep crust on a steak, I still prefer a cast iron skillet on the stove, but day to day, this is good enough. Deglazing is simple. After browning, I pour in a splash of broth, scrape up those brown bits, and move right into pressure cook mode without changing pans. Cleaning is where this model won me over. The lid and the inner pot go in the dishwasher. The stainless steel doesn't hang onto smells the way some non-stick inserts can. The silicone handles on the pot don't get gummy or weird over time. The sealing ring can hold onto aromas from strong dishes like curry or bone broth, which is why that extra ring matters. I use the red ring for savory recipes and keep the clear one for neutral or sweet dishes. If you're new to pressure cooking, that ring is the stretchy gasket under the lid that creates the airtight seal. It needs to be seated correctly for the cooker to build pressure. It's worth checking it's fully in place before every session. The steam release is improved. With the diffuser cap, the release is less aggressive and a bit quieter. There's still a hiss when you quick release, because that's how pressure cookers work, but it isn't a jump scare. Quick release means you manually flip the vent to drop the pressure right away when the cook time ends. Natural release means you just wait and let the pressure fall on its own. For meats and beans, Natural release often gives better texture. For veggies or delicate foods, I use quick release to avoid overcooking. The Pro makes both easy, and the controls feel more thoughtful than older versions I used. On the usability side, the favorites are underrated. I saved a chilly night profile with my usual time and high pressure, and a rice profile with my preferred ratio and keep warm setting. I also like that keep warm kicks in automatically, because it gives me a buffer if I'm juggling other parts of a meal. The trivet that comes in the box is great for making hard-boiled eggs, steaming potatoes, or keeping a cheesecake tin off the bottom of the pot. A small note for new users: always use at least a cup of thin liquid for pressure cooking so the pot can build steam. If you're making thicker sauces, brown first, then add broth, and avoid flour until after pressure cooking. If you care about looks on the counter, the Pro fits into a kitchen without shouting. The matte black finish blends with stainless appliances, and it doesn't look tired after a few weeks of use. The handles on the inner pot mean I can lift it safely with one hand while serving with the other. I didn't realize how much I needed that until I stopped worrying about scalding my knuckles. It's perfect for bigger families, weekend meal prep, or anyone who wants leftovers without doubling a stovetop recipe. The 8-quart size feels like headroom. I can make soup, portion half for the freezer, and not feel like I compromised on the veggie load. The aluminum-clad base heats fast enough that I don't reach for another pan. And when I do yogurt, the precise temp control keeps it consistent, which is one of those quiet joys you don't appreciate until you nail it batch after batch. Not everything is perfect. Browning power is good, not mind-blowing, and you can't expect silent steam release. The first couple of sessions with the interface take a minute to click, especially if you're coming from a simpler model. None of that has changed how often I reach for it. From my experience, the convenience wins out. I load it, spin the dial, and let it work while I clean up or prep a salad. It cuts down on active cooking time, which is the part that wears me out on busy days. In my opinion, the Instant Pot Pro 8QT earns its spot on the counter because it balances capacity, safety, and everyday speed. Key features that stand out are the silicone-handled pot, the quieter steam diffuser, the generous screen with a clear progress bar, and the flexible presets that I can actually trust. It's not flashy for the sake of being flashy. It just helps me get dinner on the table with fewer dishes to wash and fewer chances to mess up the timing. I'd recommend this for people who cook for more than one or two, for new pressure cooker users who want a model that feels friendly, and for experienced home cooks who want to combine pressure cook, slow cook, rice, steam, and saute in one place. It's also a thoughtful gift for someone moving into a first apartment or building a kitchen setup from scratch, because you can do so many core tasks with it. If you're brand new, don't be nervous. Start with chili or chicken noodle soup. Learn the difference between quick release and natural release. Save a favorite or two. The rest falls into place fast. In conclusion, the Instant Pot Pro 8QT is a dependable, roomy multi-cooker that has made my weeknight routine easier and more predictable. It trims the fussy parts of cooking without stripping away flavor, and it cleans up without drama. It won me over with the little details, like the lid rest and the cool touch pot handles, and it keeps me using it with the big ones, like capacity and consistent results. It's perfect for anyone who values practicality over hype and wants meals that taste like they took more effort than they actually did. You can find detailed information about the Instant Pot Pro 8QT in the comments section. See you in the next video.